OpenClaw has over 330,000 stars on GitHub right now. It's one of the most hyped AI projects of 2026, and people are rushing to set it up without understanding what they're actually getting into. Some of them end up with a genuinely powerful personal AI that manages their email, automates their workflows, and runs 24/7. But then there's others who end up with a $200 surprise API bill and a broken setup they abandon after just 2 weeks. Now, the difference comes down to just 5 things you need to know before you even start the installation. So in this video, I'm going to give you the honest reality check on OpenClaw that most tutorials skip. And by the end, you'll know exactly what OpenClaw is and isn't, what it actually costs to run every month, what technical skills you need, who should set it up and who definitely should not, and what to use instead if OpenClaw isn't right for you. I'm Sen from AI Academy. Let's get into it. Okay, first, what OpenClaw actually is and what it isn't. Let me clear up the biggest misconception first. OpenClaw is not just a better ChatGPT. It's not a chatbot you install and talk to. It's a personal AI operating system that runs on your own server and can control your computer, your email, your calendar, your files, and your apps. The official description calls it a personal AI assistant, any operating system, on any platform. And that's true. But what most people miss is that it also has a full server application that you need to host, configure, secure, and maintain yourself. Think of it like this. ChatGPT is like renting a nice apartment where everything works, someone else maintains it for you, and all you do is just show up and use it. But OpenClaw is like building your own house. You can make it exactly how you want, but you're also responsible for the plumbing, the electricity, and fixing the roof when it leaks. Now, if all that you want is just a smarter chatbot with better memory, OpenClaw honestly is just a massive overkill. It's better to just pay for ChatGPT Plus or Claude Pro at $20 a month and call it a day. OpenClaw only makes sense if you specifically need agents that can access your files, run automations, connect to Telegram, manage your email, or work autonomously while you sleep. Now, this distinction is very important because it determines everything else. Okay, now let me explain the real cost and not give you the marketing number. When it comes to the marketing, it says that OpenClaw is free and open source. And I mean, technically, the software is free, but running OpenClaw is not free. That's because there are 3 costs that nobody talks about up front. First is hosting. You need a server. Most people use a VPS from a provider like Hostinger, Hetzner, or DigitalOcean. For OpenClaw to run smoothly without lagging, especially if you're running multiple agents, you want to have at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. If you're using a budget host like Hetzner, that's about $5 to $10 a month. However, if you use any US cloud servers, it's more like $20 to $40 every month that you'll pay. If you need a VPS, Hostinger has solid options starting at just a few dollars a month, with literally up to 67% off right now. So I've linked it down below. The second cost, and this is the big one, the API costs. OpenClaw doesn't include its own AI model. All it does, it connects it to AI models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and others. And every time your agent does something, it uses tokens from those APIs, which costs you money. And honestly, the amount they can spend here is wild. I've seen people report spending $5 to $15 a month by being careful with their model routing. But I've also seen users spend $200 or more in just a matter of days because they had 14 AI agents running on expensive models without any spending limits. And if you look online, there's actually multiple Reddit threads where people claim they got hit with literal $2,500 bill in a single day from agent loops. Now, the difference between a $10 a month and a $200 a month comes down to just 3 things. First is which AI models your route tasks you to do. First are which AI models your route tasks to, whether your agents have loop protection, and whether you set spending limits on your API provider dashboard. Now, for the third cost, this is the cost nobody puts a dollar amount on, but honestly, it's very real and you can't ignore it. When it comes to OpenClaw, expect to spend a few evenings getting it set up, then a couple hours a month maintaining it, because you need to update any containers, debug any broken skills, fix things that break after upgrades. There are multiple threads online that describe OpenClaw as feeling like a part-time DevOps job. So the realistic monthly cost for a careful personal user, I'll say is roughly $15 to $40. But if you're a power user, expect to pay around $50 to $200 plus every single month. Okay, now let me explain OpenClaw's technical bar. How hard is this actually to use and set up? Now, it depends entirely on your background. If you've never opened a terminal or you've never used SSH or never self-hosted anything, this is going to be a steep learning curve. Now, there are great crash course tutorials that get you about 70% of the way there by following step-by-step instructions, but the final 30% where it's tasks like setting up channels, configuring your authentication, debugging when something breaks. This requires you to be comfortable reading error logs and editing config files. If you're a developer or someone comfortable with Docker, CLI, and Linux, the installation is manageable. You spend a few evenings getting the mental model down for how agents, channels, and skills and models all connect together. After that, honestly, it's mostly just maintenance. Now, the truth from a lot of users is that many non-technical people try OpenClaw, get excited by that first 60% that works, then they hit a wall when an integration breaks or an update changes config formats. And at that point, a lot of them actually give up and go back to ChatGPT or Claude. Now, another thing which I need to talk about is that having security is not optional. This is the thing I want you to take seriously. OpenClaw has full operating system access on whatever server it runs on. It can read your files, run commands, access your API keys, and interact with external services. Now, this is what makes it super powerful, but also what makes it dangerous if you don't lock it down. In fact, there are documented cases of malicious skills on Claw Hub, where over 820 were found in a single audit. These were very dangerous because they could literally steal your API keys, access your files, or run up your bill. Now, the built-in scanner catches some of these, but not all of them. So before you install a single skill or connect a single messaging channel, you need to secure your server. That means SSH keys instead of using passwords, and also have a firewall blocking everything except the ports you need. A reverse proxy with HTTPS through Let's Encrypt is also needed. And treating every community-made skill as untrusted code until you reviewed it is absolutely necessary. Now, I've actually made a dedicated security video for OpenClaw that walks through all of this step by step, so make sure to check that out. Okay, now let me explain who should actually set up OpenClaw and who shouldn't. Now, OpenClaw is worth it if you want an agent that runs 24/7 on your own server, where it touches your files, your emails, your calendar, and any code that you have. Now, if you need that level of OS level AI control and you're willing to maintain it, there's nothing else like it right now. However, OpenClaw is not worth it if you just want a smarter chatbot. If you want better writing, better research, or better conversation, honestly, getting Claude Pro or ChatGPT Plus at $20 a month does all of that without any setup. So it's not worth it if you want AI automation, but you don't want to self-host. For that, you can use tools like Lindy AI, where they give you agent-style behavior without any servers. It's a no-code AI agent platform where you build automations visually, where there's no terminal, no SSH, there's no VPS. If OpenClaw sounds like too much for maintenance, but you still want AI agents handling tasks for you, honestly, Lindy is worth checking out. Now, the simplest test here, if the phrase SSH into your VPS and edit a YAML config file makes you nervous, then OpenClaw probably isn't for you yet. So those are the 5 things I wish someone had told me before I started looking to OpenClaw. What it actually is, what it actually costs, the technical bar, the security requirements, and who should and shouldn't set it up. If after all of this, you still want to go for it, I've got a full step-by-step setup tutorial, so make sure to check that out. And if you use any of our links down below, we do get a small referral fee at no extra cost to you. It's how we keep creating free videos like this exactly for you. I'm Sen from AI Academy. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out this other video.